Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for attending our webinar today. Today, we are very glad to co-host this webinar with Loriot, our partner for LoRa. Today, we'll be covering how to master IoT applications by combining skills from both platforms, from the Loriot platform and also from the TagoIO platform. In this hour, we are going to see presentation from three of us. Alan Rai, the IoT sales engineer from Loriot, directly from Switzerland, will be doing his presentation. Then myself, Fabio Rosa, CEO and co-founder of Tago, will be doing a very brief introduction about Tago, how Tago works and how you can build the application for IoT. Then we're going to spend most of the time with Roberto, our software developer, talking about how to integrate both systems and put everything together. Today, you're going to spend roughly 1 hour here, so feel free to make any question or comment using the chat screen that you should see on the bottom of your screen. By the way, feel free to introduce yourself, sir, and share where you're coming from, where you're calling. That I think is very important for us to understand who is here. And we are going to be trying to answer all your questions at any time. If not, of course, we're going to answer at the end. Also, we'll be recording this presentation today. So everybody that registered for this webinar is going to receive a link and can watch it later or share with others. So today we're going to basically cover the key points here. We're going to have a short introduction about LoRa and understand the differentiation of Loriot versus other systems. Then also we're going to talk about the introduction of the Tago platform, the integration. So we will not only show slides, but also we're going to show live. So you can see how to build applications and put everything together. So you can have a nice visualization and really go a level higher so that you can communicate the data, the device information, users to the business. That's what you're talking about, right? So how you build it and put everything together. Okay, so to start off, now I'm going to pass to Alan to start his presentation.
Thank you, Fabio, and I'd just like to the same. Thank you everyone for turning up for the webinar. My name is Alan Ray, and I'm from the business team at Loriot. And in this presentation, I'd briefly just like to cover a few topics. Firstly, what is LoRa, the radio technology, and the LoRaWAN protocol standard, network server, and then we'll go through briefly our new dashboard on the public server, how to register, and how to add a gateway on the network server. But first, let me just give on a specific type of low-powered wider network called LoRa, which is a new radio technology built to connect a new class of IoT devices. Our vision as a company is to enable IoT in every corner of the globe, and by working with our partners, deliver LoRaWAN IoT solutions and transform production processes. And we do this, we'll have a team in Zurich, who's our business team. We have our technical team in Valencia and our support team in Budapest. So we'll revisit a little bit about Loriot later, but let's first go through LoRa and the LoRaWAN standard. So what is LoRa? Well, LoRa is a modulation chipset that modulates data into electronic radio waves, and it has some very useful properties that make it suitable for a lot of new IoT applications and use cases. And basically, LoRa-enabled devices, sensors, controllers, actuators, these things, can use this technology, LoRa, to communicate with gateways that are within range. Some people call them base stations, basically the listening devices for the LoRa sensors or actuators. And it's important to note that LoRa uses a network protocol called LoRaWAN, which is an open standard maintained by a non-profit organization called the LoRa Alliance. And the LoRa Alliance is a membership association, and Loriot is a contributor, which means we have a vote in the decision for changing the LoRaWAN standard. So let's go through the slide a little, and I'll just go over some of the, let's say, 5 key points about LoRa and why it's very useful for these new use cases we can build around it. So initially, LoRa is very long range. It uses low frequencies, and it has impressive distance coverage and signal penetration. And it's very difficult to give an accurate round number for the distance because there's many factors that influence the signal. For example, line of sight, in building interference and stuff like that. But the other day I was flying in a plane from Basel to London, and I had a device with me that basically sends a packet to my gateway, and I was getting packets line of sight up to 50, 60 kilometers. So it's very good long range distance, which applies itself to a lot of new type of use cases, especially rural use cases. And it's very low power. There's different types of LoRa devices, Class A, B, and C. Class A and C are the most used. And basically what that means is Class A is a device that transmits and then sleeps, and then transmits and then sleeps. So it's very power conservative, and it depends how often you program it to transmit, but it saves a lot of battery, and we can get years on these devices. And a Class C device is usually connected to mains power, so therefore it's always listening. So the different devices are useful for different applications, but due to the LoRaWAN protocol, it transmits on different battery life data rates, and this can extend the battery life. And it's very high capacity, which means many devices can connect to one single gateway, and you can build a network with thousands of devices. And a few of the key LoRaWAN features enable lots of devices to operate on the same radio channel and have a very high delivery rates. It's not unusual to have 90% plus message delivery rate. And the next stage is that it's very easy to install. When you register, basically you register a gateway and a device just in the network server, which is great for scaling because devices can be deployed in the field, they can be turned on, and then connecting with the gateway, they're already ready to go. There's nothing more than that because you've already done the work in the network server. And a single gateway, when you install one, can provide coverage for quite a wide area, and typically it only needs a power supply and a internet connection, a Wi-Fi or Ethernet or GSM connection to send the packets, the LoRa packets it receives from the device to the network server. And it's very low cost. The device and gateways are inexpensive, and after the initial purchase cost of the device or the gateway, there's very low operational and maintenance costs. And with the good battery life and the robust construction, they can last for years in the field, which people especially like. There's no fiddling around with them. And one of the best features about LoRaWAN is that it operates on an unlicensed radio spectrum. In Europe, it's 868 megahertz, and America 915. Every country has their own specific unlicensed spectrum for LoRa. Some have assigned them, which means anyone can connect a device and transmit packets on the frequency without need to purchase a license. So you can build your own network. Companies, businesses, small operators, big operators can start connecting devices, and they don't need to go on someone else's network. Okay? So they're the big key features for LoRa. And let's talk about the network stack now. So in a normal LoRaWAN setup, we have devices, the gateway, the network server, and the application. And in this sort of full stack, we can say the brains for connectivity is the network server. And if we just go through the slide with the Loriot there, you'll see that some of the processes that it does to help you operate and scale your network. And for example, with connection management, this is to do with the adaptive data rate and spreading factor, which is a ratio of data rate and battery life between the gateway, between the network server and the device. Data sorting, which is receiving the data and routing it to an end application like Tago, or using APIs to other command platforms, things like that. End-to-end encryption, this is between the device, the network server, and the end application. And LoRaWAN has built-in AES 128 encryption in the hardware of the actual device, so it's very secure. Account management. This is basically when you start connecting many users to your network server. If you have a private network server, you need to start managing the users, the accounts, organizing them, structuring them, multi-tenancy, things like this. And data authenticity. This is to determine if the device is genuine and its message integrity is not compromised. So this is done at the network server and the device, and they communicate with each other, swap keys to basically establish a secure connection between themselves. And this is further improved with a custom binary that we create for the actual gateway itself. And duplicate management. This is to do with when you install many gateways, they all receive the LoRa signals, let's say, from the devices. And they all transmit this or upload this to the network server. And the network server then receives these duplicates and only takes in like a single message and gets rid of the other duplicates. So fundamentally, the network server provides the connectivity between the device, the gateway, and the end application. And it's at the end application, like Tago, where the data is transformed into something valuable, and this gives us insights into our businesses, our buildings, our farms, and can also like enable automated processes. Okay, so how can you test the network server? How do we do this? How do we open this up to the public? We have 13 worldwide public servers, which are free to use, so anyone can register on them and start connecting devices and gateways. And I'm very happy to announce today we've just released server version 4.0, which opens up the network server for community users to be able to do downlink, multicast, all these new applications that we put on there. So log in, try it, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And all the features are available, like I said, so you can just instantly have free, low-cost access to a network server, a LoRaWAN network server, and start connecting LoRa devices, gateways, and pushing them to the end application like Tago. So how to register on our new public 4.0 server? Well, this is the dashboard here. It's the new version. It's usually on the left. It has applications and networks, which is where the bulk of the action happens. And in applications, that's where we can add devices, LoRa devices, and in networks, that's where we can add gateways. And there's a bunch of whole features how to manage gateways and manage devices. Okay. So how do we register on the network? Well, if you go to Loriot TagoIO and I'm going to go to the registration form, and there's 13 public servers to pick from. My advice is to pick the one that is local, and then you'll have the best latency. And when you log in, you'll see our new dashboard. And if you go to the Networks tab and go on the sample network that's already built on there, you can add a new gateway. And here's the list of gateways we have. They're all supported by Loriot with our custom binary. Once you click on the gateway, you can put in the MAC address, the location, and then it will give you a software link to download the binary. And just to note, the binary itself is built by Loriot, and what it does is it adds TLS 1.2 transport, which is an encryption protocol for secure communication over the internet, and this is for all data or internet activity on the network server and at the gateway. It gives you an SSH tunnel for decentralized management, remote control from the dashboard, message queuing, and to support a gateway, we have to build this binary because that ensures the security and the reliability of the gateway and our network server to deliver a secure environment for your data. So how we do this is, like I say, once you've added the gateway, you'll get a software tab on the left, and it will have the binary for download. What you need to do is have an SSH tunnel to the binary, and then you can install it on there. And then once you connect, let's say, once the binary is on, it'll have internet connection and it'll start connecting to the network server. And once it's connected to the network server, you'll have this nice landing page for the gateway, and it will show uptime. You can tap into the data stream. It will show you how many packets are coming through, the traffic. You can enable roaming so that anyone else on the public server can go through your devices can go through their gateways, and their devices can go through your gateways to the end application. And basically, it enables you to start connecting and building your network. So an overview of Loriot quickly is that our core business mainly is private network servers and the installation of managed and unmanaged private network servers in the cloud or on-premise. And for commercial deployments, you need a secure, scalable network which will have an SLA and a fail-safe architecture, so guarantee that you have connectivity for your services. And our solution is designed to provide a complete network infrastructure for end-to-end solution providers all the way up to telecoms operators. And since 2015, a bit of our development is that we've grown very rapidly alongside our partners as the whole LoRaWAN space has grown, as more and more businesses are starting to use LoRaWAN for their use cases and solutions, and it's become much more widely recognized as a viable technology. We are supporting national and regional city LoRaWAN deployments, and the roadmap for these is to start connecting these public and private networks to have a network roaming between them all, so that you can connect devices and take them from one city to the other, you'll still maintain network connectivity. So I'd just like to finish by saying that, with our position in the LoRaWAN ecosystem, we have very good exposure to the overall market, and we're supporting new innovative use cases every day. And the thing is, the technology works, and the only limitation is our own imagination for these use cases. So I'd just like to thank you for your time, and if you'd like to discuss LoRa or our network server or anything else, please contact me, Alan at Loriot.io. And now I'd like to hand over to Fabio, and he can introduce you to the TagoIO platform. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Alan. For sure, we're going to have a question come to here to deal with you later. So let me talk about Tago itself, right? First, so Tago is a cloud platform, okay? And there is the location where you can build your application. So you can connect all your devices, get this information from the devices, process in real time, and do things like showing to have a nice visualization in a browser or mobile app that's already included in our solution for free, or also, of course, you create notifications and email reports and so on. So let me talk a little bit about the key components here very briefly. So first of all, Tago is basically built on top of 5 components. The first one is the device and account management. So we have APIs to connect different kind of networks, different kind of devices, using MQTT or using HTTP, HTTPS, and so on. And then also, of course, here is where we connect to Loriot. Okay, so we are able to not only grant access, generate all the security things that are necessary, but also generate tags. So if you have one device or thousands of devices, you can manage in our system. The other part is the data storage. So everything that is in our account is stored in your account, and you have full control of that. You can keep the data there forever, or you can run backups, or you can define how long you want to keep the data. Let's say that you want to keep the data for 1 week. You can define so that after that period of time, the data is automatically removed. Everything, of course, is scripted and so on. The other important item is the analysis. With Tago, it's possible for you, for the developers, to design solutions that will be processed in real time. And this analysis can be as part code, script in JavaScript, for example, that you do something like a transformation from one kind of a variable to another one, to generate alert, to generate a PDF report, CSV, or integrate with other systems. Okay. Later, Roberto is going to show you how to do that so you can understand the principle. Then, of course, you have the data visualization. We create a very easy to use but very powerful dashboard capabilities under Tago. So that's very important. It's not only easy to use, but it is also composed by different kinds of widgets, including videos, pictures, maps, and other things that you can build in your account and share with others. And the last point is about notification and integration. We have native SMS, emails, and push notification. But if you need, you can also integrate your solution with other systems using our powerful APIs. We have several cases of IoT implemented by our customers, and most of them really have been done by themselves. Okay, because we're a platform, anyone can sign up, start for free, build the solution, and they can scale. If they need our help, we help as well sometimes. So that depends on the business model, or sometimes you can build the whole solution. But most of the case is really about the developers following our documentation that's available in our portal, in our documentation area, and build it on top of that. So what are the key things that differentiate Tago from others? I'll put in here in few things. First, it's really about flexibility and make sure that we can expand the applications using our capabilities. For example, we have the user management. From here, you can manage developers. You can add more people to collaborate with you in your account in real time, even if you have local teams or work with your partner, customer, or in different countries. Okay, you can manage users. Also, you can add users to get your application. Let's say that you're going to scale, then you're going to have thousands of users looking for an application. You can manage them as well. Also, we have the Explore session. That's basically an area where you can download some examples, live examples. Then you have the data retention backup. That's very important, as I told you. We have a concept called data bucket. So you don't need to understand database principles in order to build your IoT solution. Still, if you are expert in database, you can access all your data using our APIs. The other thing that's very important, Tago, is that we created the concept here to share dashboards and also share data. Just click, you select who should receive that information, so you are able to share for the period of time that you wish. Let's say that you have a customer that evaluates your solution. We build something and we want him to take a look for, let's say, 1 week. So you just set up in 2 clicks and say, I want to share with John for 1 week. And after that time, that will be expired. Also, you can create public links, so you can put in our website and share with everyone. And of course, the other part is really about the integration. Really believe that to have a strong proposition, it's necessary to go beyond the basic IoT. That's why we create a very solid connectors to expand the solution. As I mentioned before, you can connect directly using different kind of protocols like MQTT or HTTP, but also we create all the connectors like Microsoft Flow. With the Flow, we are able to connect to hundreds of applications just using Microsoft Flow. So you have native connectors for Microsoft Flow. Also, you can connect the Tago with your CRM, ERP system. You can generate tickets and manage the tickets when there is a problem with a compressor or your product automatically using Tago APIs. One thing that you can do is you always have the option to go and do things internally at Tago, so you don't need to have all the servers, or you can extend the use companies that already have the package to integrate and do whatever you want, like a CRM or ERP. But let's say that you want to generate a report every day, every 7 a.m., and send the notifications when the things there is a problem the last night. So you can do this internally. Also, you can generate emails with maps included, or you can generate a PDF or links to Google Sheets, things like that. So we really keep this very powerful for you to build your solution. So Tago basically has kind of 2 versions. One is for developer. So to take advantage of that, all you have to do, you can sign up for free to TagoIO and enter with your basic information and make sure you select the options here called I am a developer. We check this box because when you do that, you have access to everything. Okay. If you don't do that, you're going to have limited access, so you still can visualize and receive information, but you'll not be able to build the solution. So make sure you click here. So it's free. With this version, you can build 5 dashboards, connect 5 devices, and can connect your device sending more than 5 times our data to Tago. Okay, so check check our website in the pricing page so you can understand all the benefits from the free account. So now let me switch to Roberto. He's gonna move from here and show you how to integrate Tago with the Loriot, what are the steps that you need to follow, and also end up with a demo. Roberto, go ahead.
Thank you, Fabio. Hello, everyone. I'm Roberto, and I am a software developer. So in this webinar, I'm going to show you how to integrate Loriot with TagoIO and how to build an application with a dashboard, share your dashboards, and a few other things. Before I start, I want to talk about this diagram that we have over here. So if you can see in the left side, we have kind of a network. This is Loriot network. And on the right side, we have TagoIO. So basically what it means is that you have your devices sending data to Loriot, and then we have a connector that links Loriot together with TagoIO. And you have your applications, you extract your data from your devices and get like real applications using TagoIO. And this is done using 2 steps. Step 1 is to register your data output at Loriot. And step 2 is to register your devices, your Loriot devices at TagoIO. And I'm going to live demonstrate you how to do that now. So let me share my screen over here. I'm going to wait a second to make sure that everyone can see it. Okay, so this is the Tago admin. This is our platform, our developer platform. As Fabio mentioned, if you sign up and you make sure you check the I am a developer option, so you can have access to these the left menu over here with these tools. I'm going to talk about these tools for a little bit, and then we go for the connection for the Loriot connector. So here, first on the left, we have devices. And Tago devices are a virtual representation of your real device. Let's say that you have a device on your hand, you have a device at Tago that represents that device. And here we have buckets. Buckets are a mean to save data. This is commonly known as databases, but we extracted the database concept and created buckets where you can see your variables, you can manage them, you can create your backups, you can choose how long you want to keep your data. If you don't want to keep your data, just want to use it in a real time. And this is very easy to do. You don't need to know about databases. You just need to go there and activate whatever you want. Here we have files where you can upload any kind of files that you want that your application requires to. For example, here you can see this image, this is showing a farm, and this image is uploaded in our files section. And you can create public files or private files as you wish. And then we have analysis. Analysis is our, let's say that the brains of your application, because here is where you have your scripts. You can create any kind of scripts that you want. You can, Tago can run your JavaScript scripts natively, so you don't have to worry about servers or anything. You just need to upload them and Tago will run them for you. But you can, let's say that you have an application that is not JavaScript, or let's say that you have a server on your company that you want to integrate your applications with. You can develop your scripts in any language that you want. You just need to integrate with Tago using our APIs, and Tago will run your scripts on your computer. No matter what language you want, you just need to create that integration. And we support a few languages already. If you need, you can take a look at our documentation and see what languages we already have SDKs ready. And this is action. Action is you can set up triggers For every time that something happens at Tago, you can take an action on that, run an analysis, or send an SMS, send an email, or you can send data back to other devices. Let's say that one device need to trigger another, so you can create custom actions like that. And of course, you can run analysis on actions, so you can integrate with everything that you want. You can basically do anything that you need. And here we have an Explore section that is, you should take a look there. There are just some demos and examples that you can see of dashboards and applications. And here we have our dashboard section. This is where you can see your data, as I'm showing this one right now. So I'm going to show you how we got this data from temperature and humidity. We have soil temperature. We have multiple devices in this dashboard over here. So I'm going to show you how we got this data from Loriot, from your Loriot devices, and build your applications on top of that. So everything that I'm going to show you today, you can find on our written documentation. You can just click over here in the question mark. This links to our documentation, and you can type Loriot here in the search box. And then you see here we have a documentation, a full tutorial on how to connect your application. I'm basically going to go through this tutorial, but if you have any questions, you can just go there later and take a look at how it works. And also you have the recording of this tutorial available to you later. Okay, so first of all, we need to go to your dashboard at Loriot. I'm already logged in to my account over here. And you need to change your application. Let me just click here. So I'll go to application and go to my application over here. And then you need to change the data output. So in here, I have WebSocket right now, and I'm going to change that for HTTP requests. So here, data output, I'll change that and select HTTPS. Okay, so in here, in the target URL for posts, you need to post a URL that is in the documentation if you follow the steps. And here in custom authorization header, this is kind of a password that, let's say that if someone if you use this password, they cannot have access to your account. This is optional. If you want, you can leave it open, but I suggest that you type in passwords here. So I'm just going to do a password here, 1234, from that. Okay, so basically now we have our application output set up to HTTP push, and I have the password 1234. This is only necessary to do once per application. Let's say that you have multiple applications in your Loriot account, then you have to do one for each. But let's say that I'm working on one application right now, so this is the only time that I need to do that. So this is step one, creating the output. Now, step two, this should be done for every device that you have. I'm going to show you how to do that using the admin, but later on, if let's say that you have hundreds of devices or thousands of devices, you don't want to do this by hand. We can help you create a script to register your devices and have access to them. So let's go there. Here I have devices, and I'm going to add a new device. In here, we can, let's see. You can just type Loriot over here, and then we have a custom connector for Loriot. So let me click over here. And here you can see that we have a small tutorial on how to do that. And I'll just click connect in the bottom button here. Okay, so this is going to redirect you to our middleware. In here, you have to log in to your Tago account. So let me log into it. Okay, now we need to choose which server, which server are you using from Loriot? I'm using US1. You just choose which one you are using. In here, I have some information that we need to get from Loriot. So all the information, if you have any questions or don't know how to get this information, you can see our tutorial. And here, if you go to the end of the tutorial, it's possible. Let me just move it around here. So if you go to the end of the tutorial, you can see how to get all the information: your access token, your device EUI, your application EUI, and your authorization header. Okay, so I already have these copied from, I already got there and took all this information. So let me post here the Loriot token, my device EUI. So just paste it here. My application ID. And this is very important. This is the same custom authorization header that you typed previously when you were registering your data output. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you can see here that I have my device EUI. You can go to Loriot and go to your application here and go to devices and get your device EUI and application. Let me go back here. You can get your application EUI over here, and on tokens here you can get your authentication token. Okay, I can go back here and register. So I have here connector successfully created. So basically now I have a device at Tago that is called this. This is the name of the device. It's the EUI at Loriot. So let me close this page. I don't need that anymore. And let's go to devices here. So now if you can see here, we have that device over here. So basically every time now that my device sends data to Tago, this data is sent, every time that my device sends data to Loriot, this data is forwarded to TagoIO. So if I click here in the device, I don't have any data right now, but you can see that if I go to bucket over here, that's where we store the data. You can see the variables, your backups and everything, all the data from your Loriot device. Okay, so now that we know that we have data from Loriot to TagoIO, we need to parse that data to be able to really show that data to your customers. If we go here, we have temperature and humidity. We have air temperature and humidity in this dashboard. But Loriot or your device at Loriot doesn't send you like variables called temperature and humidity. They send you a payload, and you have to parse that payload to get this data. So basically, I have a payload set up over here. Let me go to the other device. I have a LoRa test device over here, and every time that my LoRa test device sends data, I receive that payload, and then an action is triggered, and this action runs an analysis that parses that payload and create new variables to me. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if you go to actions over here, I have an action called parse. I'm just going to create a new one. And let me see, parse. Let's call it parse 2. And what I want to happen for this action, I want to run an analysis. And which analysis I want to run? I have an analysis called payload parse that I'm going to show you later. So, and here then I go to trigger, and this is the important part. So I'm going to select the other device. I have here LoRa test device, and I have the variable called payload. So whenever my device sends the variable payload, and I have that condition is any, so any value that comes to the variable payload, I want Tago to run the analysis. So let me just save that. Okay. Now I have two actions. So whenever my device sends a variable called payload, any value on that, it's going to run an analysis. Let's go to that analysis. So here we have the analysis called payload parse. Let me open up that and do the script. Here you can actually see the script of your, this is an example script. You can click here and go to generic parse, generic payload parse, and select it. It's exact the same payload, the same script. I haven't modified anything. So basically in here, what it does is it searches for your payload, and it gets the string that is your temperature and humidity, and creates the variable temperature and humidity and posts that variable to you. So basically, when your device sends data to Loriot, that data is forwarded to TagoIO as a payload. Then TagoIO triggers an action. The action runs this analysis and creates the variables called temperature and humidity. So you have the variables temperature and humidity to be displayed as, not displayed, to be used as your applications. And then you can set up other actions on top of that. Let's say you want to set up actions if your temperature is too high or too low. Or for example, here we have a silo at 99%. That is, well, you should probably, there is an action to be taken here, like call out truck now. And then you can just trigger actions like send emails, send SMS, or integrate with your application to create a ticket on your CRM or in another CRM. And then of course you can create full applications over here, not just display data. For example, you can share this dashboard publicly, or you can share this dashboard to your company or whomever you want. So I have another one that I just created here with the variables temperature and humidity, and I can just, let me just show you how to share this dashboard. So in here, I have the option to edit the dashboard, and then I have the share dashboard over here. So let's say that I want Fabio to have access to this dashboard. I just type here Fabio's email, and how long should I want to share? So I don't want to have any time limit, so I want to share it indefinitely, or whenever I want to remove the share, I can come here and remove it. So, and then I sent him an invitation, and he should have received a notification over here. And once he accepts this notification, he's going to have that dashboard to his account as well. And whatever modification that I do over here, the same modification happens to Fabio's dashboard because it's the same dashboard. Okay, and of course you can create multiple widgets. Let's say we have temperature and humidity over here, and we have a whole set of different widgets over here that you can check it out. And we have other webinars showing you how to create more create dashboards. There is a whole webinar just showing you how to create these a dashboard like this with multiple variables on top of, let's say, a video or on top of an image. So let me just show you an example over here. This is live data from Brooklyn, New York, and here you can see the water condition, and here you can see weather and a service to rent bikes over there. So this is just an example. We got this live footage and added stuff on top of it. And this is real data, data that is available in the city. Okay, so let me just show you our website and where you can get help if you need, and where you can get started. As I showed you before, click over here on the top right in the question mark. So this leads to our documentation. And here you have our documentation on how to post data, how to get data, how to connect your devices. And we have tutorials on this one, like this one that I showed you, on how to connect Loriot TagoIO. And we have our website. Let me go here to, in here, on our website, you can go to resource and developers. Here you can see again our documentation and our tutorials. And you can take a look at our launch guide and best practice just to have a complete overview of what Tago does and what it means to you. And here we have our SDKs. We have SDKs available for Node.js and Java. And we have our public repositories because our SDKs are public and our change logs are here. And another thing that is very important on resources is videos over here. So here we have some demos. We have videos on how to do things, for example, introducing Tago, working with buckets, and a lot of videos that you can take a look. And also we have our previous webinars, and this webinar is going to be posted in here as well. And here we have small short videos on how to do other stuff, like create dashboard and tabs. These are like 1 minute or maybe 30 seconds videos on how to. And of course, if you need any help or have any questions, you can also contact us on here. So you can call customer support, and then not call, you can send a message, and then we'll reply you back. Okay, so that's all for my part. I'm going to go back to Fabio so we can go on to the Q&A. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Roberto. I think it was very clear. And as you point out, there are a lot of documentation available. So we try really to keep it very simple. But if that's too simple, let's say, and you didn't make it, please just enter in our website and make your question for us. We try to be very quick to answer any question you may have about anything related to Tago, and of course, including the integration here with Loriot. One thing here, while we see if there is any question, so we are open for Q&A now. So if you have any question, please feel free to type in the chat, and we will answer from there. The request, of course, can be related to Tago or Loriot, and integration something in the middle. Feel free to make any question here. So meanwhile, Roberto, I think it would be good if you could show just the documentation part related to the downlink, because of the time we didn't cover, but I think you could show where they can get the information about how to send the data back to the device.
Okay. So here we have another article called Downlink with Loriot. You can go to our documentation and search for Loriot. And here we have a full tutorial on how to send messages back to your devices. This is very easy, very simple. Of course, you need first to have the connection made. So you need to have, just set Loriot here again. So you have to complete the first tutorial and have data come into your device first. That's the first part. After you have that, you can send data back to your device following this tutorial over here. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Again, a reminder, you can always start and get that demos from Tago. Also, you can develop the application for free very quickly. Let me see if there are comments here about people that are gonna join us. Yes, that's good. There is no limit for the free account in terms of time. It's not trial, so you can have your account there free forever. Also, as you add more users that use your application, we never charge them. Okay, Tago never go after the final user. That's your business. That's your application. So everything is count if you run in your account, but not the final user. If you have a question, we have that in our documentation as well about our business model. Okay. Also, you can feel free to follow us at Twitter at TagoIO. That's important because you're going to see a lot of news coming there, and I think it adds a lot of value about IoT and the application. Alan, anything from your side? Any additional comment?
No, I think it's all good. I'd just like to just mention that on the public servers that you can register and you get a gateway and a device for free, and there's no limitations on the public server. For example, uplink, downlink, multicast, anything like that. So you can do TagoIO Platform. So with these two solutions, you basically have the full software package, and you just need the devices and the gateways if you're using LoRaWAN to get everything up and running. But no, if anyone has any questions or like to learn more about Loriot with our private servers or public servers, feel free to contact me at my email.
Yeah. So can you just write the email here again in the chat?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think yes, it's good if you can.
Loriot.io. And if you are looking to, let's say, do a proof of concept, start building an application, if you contact me and you say, I need a couple more devices or more gateways, let us know about your proof of concept and we can increase those limits for you.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our main aim is to like help you, enable you to build your proof of concept, scale your product, and then we go on to, let's say, talk about private servers and bigger deployments. So we'll do whatever we can to support you guys with the initial deployment, initial proof of concept.
Yeah, great point. Same from here. When you start and you have the free account and you need to pursue more and understand more about the tool and prepare concept, also contact us here. Then we see what we can do. So there is another question here about the data format. Okay, so the question is, can I send any payload from Tago to my device? For example, using EXA. So Roberto, you can go to the detail.
Yes, you can send any data to your device. I don't know about Loriot if there's any limitation on the size of the data that you need to send, but you can send any data because it goes to a base 64 and goes to your device. So
Yeah.
yes.
With regards to the network server, as long as it's LoRaWAN standard sort of packet size, depending on the data rate, then you can send that downlink to the device for the network server, and it basically would just push it to a gateway, and then the gateway will send it to the device. And we can also have message acknowledgements for downlinks as well.
Okay. Yeah, and just a reminder that with the analysis, you can create and convert your data, right? Let's say that you need to send something X down to your device, but at a high level, it comes from the user interface, from the user, from any value or the sensor. So you can use the analysis, convert the data, and make it available to send it out to your device. Okay, that's a great option. So we use a lot of that option, always convert using the scripts. Okay. Right. It looks like there is no more question here. So I really want to appreciate everyone who could attend this webinar now. We are going to be forwarding an email to you soon with the link. So feel free to share this presentation with anyone. And if you have any questions, please contact us directly. We are always working together to make the implementation of IoT much easier. All right. So appreciate. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
All right. Thank you.